Hello, and we're back. One more. So, on this one, let's just hop right to it because we're going to do some more juicing. We're going to make some special effects. And I had already started doing a little bit of this. Just doing a bit of testing, but I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to show you everything because this is something that takes a long time. Like, I just did this little bit of testing. I've done nothing more, so this is probably going to go horribly wrong. Oh, pardon me. If it does, I'm sorry. Delete. Are you sure? Yes. Are you really sure? Like, really, really, really? Yes. Go away. Right. So to make spell, we're gonna use a particle effect a particle emitter to make a special effect. That's what I wanted to say. So add new object down at the bottom, and then we're gonna go here to the list where we have the sprite, all this stuff, and we're gonna scroll down until we see particle emitter, which emits particles. Particle emitter 2D, not the 3D one. And then we have all these pre-made ones that are kind of there to help you shape. They're like preset shapes, and then you kind of work from there, right? You can do one from scratch, but the one I'm gonna use is do 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 do. What is it? Um, Basic flame. Did they remove it? Am I tripping? No. Oh, here we go. Cartoon smoke. So the reason why I like the cartoon smoke one is because of the particle itself. And that's what we're going to reuse. Pixie trail, rain, smoke. No, I want the... No, it's not the cartoon smoke. It's the cartoon blast. I think it's the same one, but let's use the blast. Cartoon blast. So, what is a particle emitter? Let me show you. Double click that one. Yeah, see, we're gonna reuse this asset, the image. Cartoon smoke blast.png. This one actually has a limit, but we're gonna make it -1 just so you can see what it does. This means it's infinite particles. It never runs out, so it's gonna keep on shooting and shooting and shooting. Gonna put it right there. Right there, it's fine. Oh, we already zoomed out. Look at that. That is what a particle emitter does. It shoots the image. Basically, it makes multiples of the image you give it, and then it just gives it the momentum, shoots it, fades out at the end. Each particle has its own lifetime. That's why some end sooner, some end later. Yeah. Right. So it does something like that. And to begin with, uh, 0 degrees, it's this away. So when we talk about angles, they always start shooting this away. So this is 0. If you make 90-degree angle shooting thing, it's always going to be this away. This is the default direction, right? Even if we make it like 180, it's going to do a 180 line, like just a straight line, and it's going to shoot all the way in this direction. Because what actually determines the direction it's shooting in, it's this one. The angle, or it says here. So if we make it, so it's 0, right? If we make it, let's say 90, look, it's pointing downwards now. If we make it minus 90, now it's pointing up. If we make it 180, now it's pointing backwards, right? So we're going to make it minus 90 because we want to shoot up on our special effects. And cartoon smoke blast. We're going to rename this. Rename and stepping smoke. Stepping smoke. Or dust. Rename. Why are you wasting so much time on the bloody name? Just move on. It'll be okay. Yeah, rename. It's dust. Stepping dust. Whatever. I like to be organized, okay? Get off my back. It's fine. You'll be okay. Got plenty of time. Anyways, so if you're new to GDevelop and particle emitters, just new to particle emitters, right? Not GDevelop, because this exists in pretty much every engine. If you've never seen a particle emitter, this is going to be like, oh my god, so many options. What do I do with this? And it's daunting at first. At first, you look at this and like, no, I don't want to learn this. Oh my god, there's so many. But that's why you make a first basic game for you to just play around with these. You test every single one of these. What does it do? Does it do something? Why is it not doing what I want it to do? Right? You poke around with this and you play, and then you learn what each of these does. Right? So importantly, we're gonna reuse this. You can have different kinds of particles. You can have an image. You can have a line. Right there. You can have just a basic circle. You can have a basic line, or you can have an image that you upload, or you have, for example, this one that I really like that's already in GDevelop. Or you can just create one with Piskel. Yeah. Oh my god, the loud bikes are back. I lived next to like a racing thingamading. I forget the name of it. Well, I don't, but it feels like it. Anyways, moving on. So yeah, when you have an image, leaving the color white means it's like when it's like this, 255 out of 255 out of so on. When it's complete white, it's the normal colors of the image. If you change the colors, then it's going to change the color of the image. But if you put it to white, like if this was blue instead of white, it would be blue because it's the original colors. This is going to be the opacity. 255 means it's solid color. 0 means it's see-through. See-through. There we go. I know words. And we don't want this. We want 255 out of 255. We don't want it to fade. It's a cool sprite. We're going to use it. Then, by the way, we're trying to like make some particles for our character. Like the move when he's moving, he's gonna do like little dust clouds as he's moving around. Probably should have started with that, but welcome, welcome to randomness. Population me. We don't need this additive rendering. Delete when out of particles. Sure. We're going to use that later, not right now because we just want to see how this is working. Flow of particles. That means how many particles per second does this thing shoot? And we're going to use like 4 per second or something. It's not that many. This is the amount of particles the emitter has before it reaches 0 and stops emitting. If it's -1, that's infinite. It's just going to keep shooting. This is the forces it applies. So minimum force, maximum force. This is how far the emitter shoots the image. We're going to make it 25. Actually, we're going to make it 10. out of 25. We don't want it to go very far. The spray. It's the angle of the spray. It's like, you remember the little duck nose thing I was showing you with the angles? That's the line of the spray. If we make this 180, it's just gonna turn into a line. Let me show you. Apply, and there we go. See? It's no longer a cone, it's now a line because it's a 180 degrees. If I made it 360, it would just be one line because it's shooting all around. If we made it 90, it would just be a cone like that, right? So anyways, let's go back to it. What was I? I don't know. 180, that's what I was. Yeah, 180, that's what we want. This, the radius, means 0, everything gets shot right from the center, right? So if my mouse is the center, everything comes from here. If this is like 20, it's going to come from the radius of 20 around the center, right? So they don't all spawn in the middle. It's for making cool effects. Gravity is gravity, you know. For example, minus positive gravity helps the particles go up, while minus gravity helps it go down. So it's cool for like explosions. So like it explodes, makes a ball, and then the gravity like brings the dust down or something, or lifts the dust up with explosions. We don't actually need it, I don't think, so we're gonna keep it at 0. And this is the lifetime. Like, how long does the particle live before disappearing? We're gonna leave it like that, 0.5 to 1, just to check how things go. And start size, I didn't really see the size. And okay, we're gonna do the opposite. We want it to be big at the start and then fade out. Like, make it tiny by the end. So it spawns a big one, and then it gets small and small and small and disappears. All right, let's see what this one looks like. So it's gonna look weird, kind-ish. Well, first of all, it's too big. It starts off too big. So we're gonna make him like half of that would be good. And then it's not shooting enough particles because it's like going pop, 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 pop. And we make it like we want to make can I speak, please? There we go. We want to make an explosion. So let's try 10. We want to make it so that when you step, it goes poof, and it just shoots things all over. And this is kind of hard to do, what I want to do with a preview like this. Yeah, that looks weird now. So we need to make him bigger a little bit. So like 35. And now we actually need it to be applied. Huh. That's why it looks weird. I figured it out. It's okay. We're gonna make this. It has 10. And we're gonna make it like 50. So it's gonna shoot all 10 at once when we use it. And now we can't really see it like this because the moment we load the game, it's just gonna go poof and then disappears. So we're gonna try it anyways, but we're only gonna see it once. And I didn't see it because it poofed, right? So we're gonna go okay, apply, and we're gonna delete this. And we're actually gonna apply it to our character, and we're gonna adjust it as we're doing it. I'm sorry, that made no sense, but whatever. We're just gonna give it to our character, and then we're gonna adjust from there, right? Because it's a lot easier. doing it this way with the emitter just shooting all the time, it's nah. It's a hard way to do this. Stepping dust. Do we want to call it that? Oh my god. I'm just gonna call it dust. Okay. Rename. Where is it? Rename. Dust. Okay. Smoke. Oh my god. Smoke. It's because like you're like, man, you're crazy. You're nuts. But I'm not, honestly. Because okay, before we even do that, we need to do something else. Because keeping all your assets with a name that you can associate quite quickly when you're coding, because right now we have 3 assets, right? This is like nothing. But when you have a bunch of assets, like a bunch of them in a bunch of folders, and you need to go through all of them, and you're like, oh my God, what was the name again? It's like, you're going to thank me. You're going to be like, oh, this is why you was so OCD about names. It makes sense. Anyways. Right. So, we need to learn about points to make this thing work. Down here, we're going to select our character or any character, any asset. This will work with any sprite, right? Down here, we have the collision and we have the points. The collision masks is like the imaginary square or the hidden square on your character or shape, right? It doesn't have to be square, a shape, right? That is what determines if your character is in collision with another object, right? So quite quickly, let me show you. Just click it and see this yellowish square around my character. This is what my character hitbox actually looks like. I could change it. I could shape it around my character, but there's no need right now. And honestly, this is fine. But we don't need that. Not right now. We need the points. So, the points. The character starts with 2 major points. The origin point, when you hover over it, it gets blue, right? It's right there in the corner. And the center point, which is right there in the center. Literally. These points are what determine certain things. For example, if you were to create an object, the object is created from the origin point, right? So if you're trying to create an object on top of a platform, for example, and you're saying, oh, go, like, let's imagine this is a platform right here, right? And you want to create this character on top of the platform. The coordinates, if you go, oh, the platform is here, let me see which one is this. Like X is 50, Y is 30, whatever, right? And you tell it, create here. The character is going to start being created here, and the actual character is going to end up here. And you're going to be like, why? It's because the origin point is what determines the beginning of the character. Like it's created from this point, right? If you're like, you want to create him here, then you need to put the coordinate here or move this point down here, right? So that's how the whole shebang works. It's fine. If this does not make sense, it's okay. Just understand that when we reference, for example, Little Knight's position X and Little Knight's position Y, we mean this one, the origin. If we say Little Knight dot center X, we mean this one, this point. And for the smoke, we're actually going to make a new point. We're going to come here, add one, and it's going to add there. I'm just going to change it a little so I don't click on the origin. I don't want to change it right now. So I'm going to drag it and I'm going to put it here in the back. Actually, so we can better understand where it's going to go, we're going to change the animation from idle to moving. I had it perfect. Look at that. Oh, it's because we were using the same positions. Okay, I'm smart. Right, so I'm going to make the dust show up there on the back foot. And we're going to call this point, what do we call the particle again? Smoke? We're going to call it smoke. And these are the coordinates. We don't care. It's fine. So we have this new point now called smoke. And we're going to close and apply. So now our character has an extra point that we can reference. So when we tell to create the smoke, we're actually going to create it at that point. So it's going to be right there. Let's go to the events and let's add our smoke particles. So we want it on animations. And since we want the smoke to pop up when we make the sound tok, 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 like every time he pats it makes the sound, the smoke comes up. So we're going to make it where we did the walking sounds. I'm going to copy paste that to make a difference. This is jumping, this is walking. And we're going to add there an action. And we're going to do create object, because we're going to create an object, and every object that you have is an object. Every asset, on the side, that's an object. So create an object. This is the same thing, but you can just use the vanilla one. It's fine. Okay, object to create. We called it smoke, right? All right, we put an S, shows up. Now, where do you want to create your smoke? There's an X and a Y. So on our grid, on our game, there's X and Y positions. We haven't talked about this, but just know this. X is this. It's horizontally. And Y is vertically. It's right this. Like this. Minus on the X means going to the left. Minus numbers means closer to the left side. Positive numbers means closer to the right side. With the Y, minus means higher numbers and plus means lower numbers. Whatever. This is just so you have an idea, right? So you're going to type in, we're going to reference that point we did. So it's little knight. I think it's that point. Yeah. So it helps you. When you start typing stuff, it tries to help you. So we're going to do the point X. Then we need to open parentheses. Oh my God, open. And then call it by the name. We call it smoke, or was it dust? Smoke? Was that what we call it? An object variable expression. Wait, does it need to be like this? Oh, okay, there we go. It needs to have the. Oh my God, what do you call these things? Oh, I forget now. It doesn't matter. You do those things. Quotes. There you go. Quotes. Quote the name of the point and then end quote and then end parenthesis. Just do it like this. Just copy paste this. And then for the Y, check this out. It's exactly the same. We're going to copy paste copy, paste, and we just change the X for a capital Y. I'm copy pasting. You can type it out. Type it out every single time, because the more you type it out, the more you fixate and the more you learn these things. The object dot the point X, and then open quotes, name of the point, quotes, close. Right. And which layer do you want to create the this thing on? Right now, you only have base layer, so we're going to make it on the base layer, which is the layer full of base. It's not that, Just kidding. So it's going to create this thing every time it plays the sound. Like, it's going to meet the same conditions as the sound, and it's going to play the sound, and it's going to create this thing. So we're going to copy this, and we want to make it for frame number 2 as well. So let's see how that looks. And preview. And see? How cool is that? But if you see, the angle looks weird, right? It's like it's shooting the puff of smoke to the side and not upwards. Right? And that's because the angle is wrong. We need to change the angle. How do we do that? Go add an action, and we want to change the angle, so let's type angle. And look at that. There's an angle. And you can, like, this says angle, this says angle. What gives? Well, this one says text, object. This one says general, objects, angle, right? You want this one. Read the tooltips. Which object? Smoke. And set to, remember, shooting up. So the default 0 degrees is to the side, like to on the direction of the right side. 270 or minus 90 is upwards. Let's make it minus 90. So 90 degrees is down, minus 90 is up. Right. Press OK. And now be sure event order is important. So we play a sound, we create the smoke, we change the angle of the smoke. If we do it like this doesn't work, because we play a sound, we change the angle of something that has not been created yet, so this doesn't do anything, and then we create the smoke with the wrong angle. So order is very important. Be sure of this. Play the sound, create the object, and then we change the angle. Right? So be sure that when you're referring to something, that something actually exists. So we copy paste. It's the same object. Let's try it again. Oh, I know it's a lot of talking. I'm sorry, but I cannot explain this stuff any better. Hey, look at that. Now it actually looks cool, right? Like, as I'm walking, it looks like it's shooting up. Look at that. Juicing! We're juicing the double Jesus out of our game. If you, like, spam tap it, it looks weird. Alright. Okay, that was good. So now we can adjust it. We can leave it as it is. It's okay. But we like that. Everything's working. Remember, once in a while, click save. Let's be sure to save our progress. I always get a little bit of a panic attack every time I click it. It's like, oh my god, I'm recording. What if something goes wrong? I need to redo this? Nah, I'll be fine. Anyways, double click that and do 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 do. Spot the gadget. What are we doing? What are we doing, gadget? So the number of particles. Let's make it less. Let's make it 6. This doesn't matter. This just needs to be a high number to make it shoot all of the particles at once. This also doesn't matter because this is the limit, and we only have 6. So that is irrelevant. We do want this one, the delete when empty. Oh my god, the bike is back. Emission force. I like this one. It's like it wasn't going too far. Let's make it 35. Maybe it'll look a bit silly now. 30. Hopefully it'll look okay. Because we don't want it to move too much. We just want to make like a little puff, right? Spray 180. That's fine. Gravity. I'm gonna leave it okay. And maybe this is living too long, right? So let's make it 0.75 and 0.4. What about the size? The size was a bit big, right? So let's make it 30. And this is what I mean. You use your imagination. And it's like you don't need to see it happen every single time. Like every tiny little detail you change, right? Because you know, like you're sort of in the ballpark of what you're doing. Okay. It looks a bit better. Yeah. Starting to look nice. Is it still living too long? That is the question. I think this is okay. I think we overdid it with the shooting. The flow is fine. Like it's the maximum. Maybe 20. The maximum force. Let's bring it down a notch. Yeah, now it looks more like we just created a little puff. This is fine. I'm okay with this for now. Alright, we can always change it later. Yeah, we can always change it later. It'll be okay. So now, yeah, let's press apply. And let's keep it. Now let's make one for the jumping. When you jump, we want to make like a big poof. I really like that. I have it on my other project. When I saw it, I was like, oh my god, it's so cute. I like it. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to name it. I'm going to take good care of it. I shall call it Puff of Smoke. Duplicate. Smoke to no. Smoke jump. Remember, be consistent with your naming. And now we can already change it because we already know how Smoke 1 looks like. So to make a bigger puff, to make the biggest of puffs, we're going to make it even bigger. So this one's 30. Let's make it 40. Everything else is going to be the same. It's just going to be a bigger poof when he jumps. And how do we do it to make it when he poofs? When he jumps, he poofs. We're going to make it. We're going to do exactly this. Create an angle. But we're going to do it when we press the button jump. And you're like, why not do it here? Because we need to do an extra condition that's like when he's on the ground. Like, okay, why don't we make this only work when he's on the ground? It makes sense, right? Because this is the jumping button. Yeah, but the platformer you have this thing where it's like the longer you press the button, the higher you jump. That's one of the options. And if you make it so that this only works when he's on the ground, then the moment he's not on the ground, you no longer have the dynamic jumping. It no longer is the longer you press the button, the higher you jump. Now it's always going to be the minimum jump, right? Because the moment you lift off, you stop pressing the button. So that's why we're not doing it here. So we're going to duplicate this. We're going to copy this. ZVC. No, wait, that is a V. Oh, God. Anyways, so we're going to put it here under these, because these are like the puff of smoke effects, whatever. And when the we're not going to do this. Don't need to simulate jump, so we're going to delete. We're going to do while he's on the floor. There you go. We're going to copy, paste, drag down. So while he's on the floor and the jump key has been pressed, then he's going to do, we're going to, also, if you want to copy paste more than one of these things, it's not control, it's shift. So like you select, and then you press shift, and it does that. And then you press the second one. And now you copy, paste, and I have the both of them. So then to drag and drop the two at the same time, you do the same thing. You select, then shift, then click, and now you can drag both at the same time. And we're going to change this one to smoke jump. Now, this is not going to work. And we're going to change the angle of smoke jump. It's already there. We just need to click it. Right. So this is not going to work. I'm fairly certain. And I'll show you why afterwards. Oh no, it does work. See, it's the bigger one. Okay, never mind. This is fine. Yeah, see? So now we do a puff of smoke whenever we jump. No, pardon me. We can make it more in the middle, right? And to do that, we'd either do a second point, or we're going to adjust one of these. And also, the reason I was saying I don't think this is going to work, it's because this only triggers when we press the space button and he's on the ground. But the thing is, GDevelop reads from top to bottom. So is actually going to read this first, this one, the control. He's going to make the character jump, and then he's going to read the next, right? So what I was thinking was, by the time he gets here, he's no longer going to do the puff of smoke because he's no longer on the ground, right? Which would make sense. It makes perfect sense. So here's a note for the future. If this stops working, that's why. If the game starts being too heavy and he stops being able to do all of this at the same time, then we just need to put these above the thing. Right? Actually, we're going to do that right now. And just like that, we're going to do this first, and then we do that. And that's why event grouping is so good. But yeah, what was I going to do? I was going to make the puff of smoke a bit closer to the middle. So to do that, so we're going to create smoke jump at position, this point X smoke, right? So remember, the X is the horizontal line. So if you want to make this the puff of smoke that's like somewhere here, go here instead, we're going to add to the position. So minus goes down, plus goes here. So let's add, we're gonna add a plus at the end, and then 10 pixels. Let's see if 10 was enough to make a difference. Do 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 dum. Do 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 dum. Oh no, now it's weird. So now, like this, it looks good, but like this, it looks bad. Okay. Oh my god. So we need to check whether or not he's flipped. No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do 2. Instead, uh, why is it work? Oh yeah, yeah. It's because it's okay. Never mind. Never mind me. Yeah, we could do it by checking or which way he's facing, but that's just gonna make yet another line of events, and we want to make them sparely, right? So the reason to make the way to make that better is we're gonna go on Little Knight, and we're gonna make a new point, edit point. Oh my god, this dude with a bike, Jesus Christ, all day long, and they say, oh, gas prices. Yeah, apparently this guy's loaded. Add a point, and we're gonna call it smoke jump, and we're gonna put it smack in the middle. We're gonna put it right there in the middle. I'm just changing the position a little bit so I can pick it up, and we're gonna put it there. And actually, I'm gonna put it a little bit higher to look nice. There, maybe. It doesn't really matter, but that's fine. So DX, because I'm a little OCD sometimes. Sometimes. No, actually, this is fine because our character isn't precisely centered. Yeah, because there's the middle. Yeah, this would be the center. This is fine. So we're just going to put it there. We're not going to be precise about it. And apply. And back to the event. And smoke jump. Smoke jump. And now we're going to change. We're going to take these numbers away because we don't need them. And we're going to change this one to smoke jump. See? Because we made the thing, it's already here. So we're going to call it smoke jump. And do. Click this. It's already there, so I just need to click it. Smoke jump. So now, without doing any extra eventing or whatever, it should, yep, right there in the middle. Okay, now we have a little juicing. How cool is that? We have some puffs of smoke. We have some sounds. We have some smoky stuff going on. We have animations. That looks so cool. I really like this character. I don't know why. Okay. So yeah, that was a little juicing. See, it looks so much better than when we started. Like, it had no sounds, and now it actually has feedback, right? He's walking around, he's like, tuk, 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 tuk. It makes jumping sounds, leaves a little puff of smoke. Right. It looks good. So yeah, that was a little bit of juicing. Not really sure what we're gonna do next. Maybe some items to pick up, like some coins next. Right. So I'll think about it, but for now, this is long enough. This is how to do a little bit of juicing, right? We learned about points. We made some extra points. We made some particle effects, right? We made some sounds so far. We made animations. It's all good. Right. Moving on. Catch you guys next episode. Peace out. In a minute. There we go. Peace out.